Good afternoon, colleagues. We have a very sad situation here. I must say that what we have witnessed in the hospital is a very sad situation. We're told of an account of the 3 ladies who were kidnapped, abducted, as they were approaching a roadblock along Samora Machel. They tell us that they were taken to the police office, to the police custody at Central Police Station. They further tell us that they were taken from that police station at Harare Central. They were then taken for a long distance. They were taken across. In fact, they tell that they don't even know where they were taken because it was a long time. And when they got where they got, which is still unknown, they were thoroughly beaten, thoroughly assaulted, and even sexually abused. In fact, it's a very sad story. When you listen to them, they are traumatized. They can't even understand what further happened. These people had guns. These people were saying, why is it that you want to revolt against the government? They were also saying that we know that you are being sponsored as MDC to cause problems, and we want to fix you. We have no reason to believe that Mr. Mnangagwa is aware of all this, because it's a pattern that has happened in the country. We have seen that across the year of 2019. We recorded a total of about 49 abductions of this nature. And they have the audacity to want to lie to the world that this is all self-inflicted, it is all false abductions. When it is clear that the pattern is the same, when it is clear that the intentions are known, it is all meant to preserve an illegitimate regime. It is all meant to try and defend an unelected regime. It is all meant to defend Mr. Mnangagwa. What is clear is that those people who are doing that are doing it on behalf of Mr. Mnangagwa. But what makes it so obvious is the fact that Mr. Mnangagwa has never condemned it. Not a single investigation has been done. Not a single arrest has been done of all these cases. One wonders why, if a police commissioner or a police spokesperson had confirmed that they had the custody of these young girls, they then turn around and say they didn't know about this arrest. So yes, Zimbabwe has become a hotspot of human rights abuses and crimes against humanity. This is inhuman and degrading treatment. This is torture against the girl child. This is torture against women. This is torture against citizens. Assuming that they had committed a crime, they were supposed to be taken to a police station, taken to court, tried, fined, or be sentenced. But to then do this kind of thing, we see it as a continuation of the old ugly past. The past that has been associated with the kind of torture that we have seen. You won't believe it. They are shaking, they can't even, they are so scared. Even if when you open the door, they almost feel like running away. And what shocks me is that some of them are people who are known around. Like Cecilia was telling us that this person, if they are to see this person, they would know. The one who was using the gun and using the gun through her anal passage. It's unheard of. But this is our appeal to SADC. This is our appeal to the international community, that we have a serious political crisis in Zimbabwe. Human rights abuses of international proportions, worse than anywhere else in the world. And this is where we want the solidarity of the international community. But you must know, Zimbabweans, that it takes a good man to do nothing for evil to persist. This evil is persisting because we as Zimbabweans have not come together to say enough is enough. And this is what we must say, draw a line in the sand as a people and say we can't afford to have this kind of abuse. I want to thank you.
So, Mr. President, you've been a victim of abductions and torture. There certainly should be a high cost for perpetrators in the government that presides over such human rights violations.
Well, it goes without saying, that's what I say, that we have all been victims. My predecessor, Dr. Richard Morgan Tsvangirai, suffered torture several times. You remember when I was at the airport the other time, how I was nearly killed in that abduction and that attack at the airport. And many more. Many of your comrades you are seeing here have been subjected to the same terror. There has to be a high cost. And this cost must be at the doorstep of Mr. Mnangagwa, because he is the man who is presiding over the affairs of this country at this juncture. And he must be accountable, he must be responsible. We refuse to agree with this notion that people are faking abductions. The kind of suffering that they've gone through is not something that one would want to fake. You can't fake this kind of pain, no matter how much money you would have gotten. This is sad, totally unacceptable. But the time is coming to stop this.
There's been allegations by some out there that the MDC leadership takes the time to be in solidarity with such victims.
How else would you want us to be in solidarity when we don't even know where they are? We actually didn't know where they were. We had to go to all the police stations through the Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights, the Zimbabwe Doctors for Human Rights. We even on our own had to do our best in the social welfare department. We had to do the best under the circumstances. So yes, I know when people are in these dire circumstances, they are easily going to blame those who are trying to save the situation. We understand. We know the frustration. But we are doing our best under the circumstances. We have never resorted to use of arms of war or guns. And we don't believe in that. We have always said ours is a peaceful struggle. Ours is a peaceful and democratic struggle. That's why we are not going to be tempted into anarchy and violence. Yet they are provoking us to do that which they would want us to do. Unfortunately, we have seen what has happened in other jurisdictions where countries have collapsed. Countries have been up in flames, which is not good. Because you lose time, you lose resources, you lose human lives. We want to resolve these issues. Yes, we're saying we need dialogue with Mnangagwa, but you can't dialogue with a hyena that is ready to take you for a meal. It's so difficult. That's why now we need the international community to help us. This is why the United Nations must help us. This is why SADC and AU, President Ramaphosa, please, lead us, help us, help us, help ourselves. We are going to stand as Zimbabweans, but ultimately we need an international hand. Even the liberation struggle had international solidarity. That is the solidarity we need, because yes, none but ourselves.
Okay, mine is just to get clarity. Initially, the police were denying knowing the presence of the three. Now we are here, they are here, we also see the police here. Is the police here to offer protection? Are they here to arrest? What is the current status as to regards the three?
Well, I understand that the police requested through our social welfare department that they want to be here because they want to try and make sure that people who are coming with other things that may poison these victims do not come in. I don't know what other reason they are here for, but that's what at least they told us. But what is shocking is that the police spokesperson confirmed that they had arrested these people, then they denied. It's the same trend, the same pattern. The biggest problem in our country is dishonesty and lies. People who lie through their teeth when they know that they've done something. And this, you can see the signature of my brother, Idi Mnangagwa. That is his tactic. Crocodile marks, crocodile footsteps. We can see the traces of that crocodile in this.
Also, the police did indicate that they wanted the three to appear or to present themselves to the police with their lawyers. Are they under arrest? That's my question. Are they under arrest? Are they free? What is the position following the demonstration that they...
Well, I'm not the police spokesperson. I wish I could give you the position. I can only speak on behalf of the victims as their leader, because they've given me a narrative. Something that I can only do at the moment is to say their state is totally deplorable. Very sad. They are totally and thoroughly tortured. But what shocks me is the capacity of a man to go and suck the breasts of a young lady who is just trying to say, let there be happiness, let there be freedom. We don't have human beings here. These are beasts.
Of your leaders, they've been talking about street protest in response to this crackdown against the MDC. What do you say?
Well, any expression of the people will come as a natural consequence of the constitutional rights that people have. We are not going to be very funny to announce a protest on Twitter, a protest at a press conference. Struggles are never timetabled. Struggles are never televised. Struggles are never announced through press conferences. Otherwise, it ceases to be a struggle. We are in a struggle, and you will see, in the days to come, you will see that people are determined to defend their rights. And they will do so peacefully until we achieve democracy in this country. We were sold a dummy in 2017. Mnangagwa and others sold us a dummy. They presented to us a bomb disguised as a cake when they said Mugabe is now going into a new dispensation. We are actually seeing that this is actually the old dispensation in a different edition. And that is the correct mistake we want to correct. We must correct the ED mistake, the 2017 mistake, the mistake of dictatorship, the mistake of autocracy, the mistake of tyranny. That is what we must be able to deal with.